Alright, ladies and gentlemen, the purpose of this video is to introduce you to arrays and hopefully explain them a little bit to you. So as you can see, my class header is public class arrays count. You'll notice that I like to comment my braces, and this is because I like to avoid any confusion about what a brace is, where it should be. Typically at this point you should kind of know that already. However, just a reiteration of that practice. I already have a main method ready to roll here. Again, opening brace, closing brace, and then of course the closing brace for the class. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a string array. So we will create a string array and we will name it, I'm going to call it wrap stars, and we will assign it a new string array object, and we will give it 5 elements. Okay, so in order to declare an array, you must put what data type you're going to use, in this case string variables, and then you must use the box symbol here, which declares an array. This is the name, much like declaring a variable. I'm calling it wrap stars, and I assign it, much like I would a constructor object, a new string of 5 elements. So what that means, 5 elements, is basically if you've ever played a game of 5-card poker, you have 5 elements in your hand at any time. 5 cards. Now, it's tricky because instead of counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, in an array we actually count 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, which will be a little bit confusing at first, but hopefully by the time this is done, that'll be clear to you. So in order to have 5 cards in our hand, the very far left card would be card 0. After that, card 1, card 2, card 3, and card 4. If you do that with your fingers, you'll notice that you have all 5 fingers up if you start counting 0 with your left, with your thumb. Alright, so in this way, we could call that array, and we could refer to the 0 element, which would be the first element, and we could assign it the value Tupac. And then we could do this for a couple other of the elements. And I'm going to intentionally leave out one of these to show you something. I'm going to skip element 2 for right now, and I'm going to go straight to element 3. And then let's go to element 4. Okay, so now I have 4 of my possible 5 elements listed, and we're going to see how we can access information from one of these. So we'll do a system.out.println, and I will print out something along the lines of alright, and then I will call element wrap stars 0. Let's go ahead and run this. Okay, so wrapper in this element Tupac. So in this element here, prints out the value Tupac because it's at that index. So that first element at index 0 is Tupac. So we'll just kind of race through this real quick. So let's take a look at that second element in index 1. And we'll see that it holds the value Biggie. Now you'll notice I skipped 2, so let's go ahead and see what happens if we go into 2. Alright, so the default value for a string variable is null, which means nothing's there. And again, if we did 3 and 4, we would come up with the expected output. So I am going to fix this by saying wrap stars, and let's go ahead and give it the value All right. And then let's go ahead and just check it real quick, make sure it's there. So Kendrick, now that I've fixed that, now it prints that out. Now, again, if you look, I have 5 elements, but index 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's 5 elements if you count those up, 5 different wrap names. All right. So just to show you a little bit more, let's pretend you don't believe me. And we'll go ahead and put in one more famous rap star. And then we will go ahead and ask it to print out the 5th index and see what happens. All right. So if you look up here, I got a java.lang array index out of bounds exceptions, which basically means the value that you gave me does not fit the length of the array. Again, our array has 5 elements, and if you look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that would be the 6th element. You can't hold that. You can't have 6 cards in 5-card poker, and you can't have anything over your index of elements there. Okay? So that's one way to declare and to assign an array. I'm going to show you another way, but in order to do that, I have to get rid of all the work we just did. Now, if you want to, you can simply comment this out so that you can keep this as an example. You don't necessarily have to delete it all. But for sakes of clarity on my screen, I am going to delete this all. And then I'm going to get rid of this part of the array, and then I will put in the following code. So now I still have declared a string array, and its name is still wrap stars, but you'll see I used an opening and a closing brace, and I entered in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different values. So what will happen is this is index 0, index 1, index 2, index 3, and index 4. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 elements. Again, if we go ahead and let's just randomly pick this one here, and if we print it out, we'll see that we get Lil Wayne, which is the 4th index, or 1, 2, 3, 4. So we get Lil Wayne. Again, if I try for anything that is too big of a number, I will get array out of index. So can't go out of that. All right. So what I'll do in the next video for this, which has a link below here, I will create a program with you that will allow the users to vote for who their favorite rap star is. And this will be a continuous loop program. And what it will do is it will create an array. We'll create an array called vote counts. And that array will keep the numbers of votes in each element. And that way we can kind of keep a continuous count for who's being voted for. So that's what we'll do in the next video.